What's up, beautiful people? Jen here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jenna Lee, aka Jen Sparkly, commander of the Sparkle Army. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel and visiting my little corner of the internet. Got a lot of stuff to talk about today. First and foremost, this whole Booker T and Corey Graves thing. It's been pretty clear that over time, Corey Graves has been taking little jabs at Booker here and there. And, there's always the question of, is this shoot or is this worked? And according to Booker T, obviously there's a little more shoot involved than maybe we knew. On his podcast, he mentioned being removed from the Raw commentary table and the main Raw pay-per-views commentary table and bumped to the pre-show so as not to have him interact with Corey Graves, because apparently WWE powers that be were afraid that he was gonna beat Corey up. Now, Corey Graves is a fantastic commentator and I do enjoy his work, but it does also seem like rumors about him being a little on the arrogant, smarmy, pompous side seem to be nipping at his heels no matter where he goes. Honestly, gun to my head, if I had to guess, like, Booker T would beat the absolute dog shit out of Corey Graves, and I think you know it as well as I do. But what do y'all think about it? Let me know in the comments below. The next thing, Jason Jordan's injury is perhaps looking a little worse than previously thought. Evidently, during physical therapy, he's having trouble gripping things. Doctors are likening it to Edge's injury. Right now, Jason is doing everything he can to avoid having to have surgery, because obviously that surgery would leave him out of commission for a year or more. So, thoughts and prayers are definitely with Jason Jordan. He's young, he's good, he was just kind of starting to find his footing. So I pray that this can be fixed and he can rehab through it, and just a speedy recovery, absolutely a speedy recovery. Also, next on the agenda, Rey Mysterio says, and I quote, "There is a big chance he might be re-signing full-time with WWE." Is that a good thing? Are you down for that? Do y'all want to see 619s back in the WWE? Talk to me. I pass that off to you guys. I know I love Rey Mysterio, and I think he'd be a great addition to the roster, especially now, the position that he's in. He is at that, super high veteran legend status where he could really help groom some of the younger talent. He could really help build the next generation of WWE superstars. So I do think that he has a lot to offer. And so, yeah, I'd love to see Rey full-time. What do y'all think? And next up is a topic that I've kind of held off discussing because I kind of wanted to poke around and try to get as much information as I could before I spoke on it, and that is the whole Enxo Amore situation. Now, I'm all about tearing down sexual predators. I'm all about outing people in positions of power who abuse said power. I'm all about stopping the cycle of sexual assault and sexual abuse that, by the very nature of it, keeps its victims silent. That said, nothing about this accuser seems very legitimate. There's way too many conflicting stories. The fact that she did not even get his name correct in her statement. The fact that she claims she was forced to take drugs, but the drugs that she claimed she was on, those are pretty voluntary drugs. You know, if someone had slipped you something in your drink, okay. If someone had given you a pharmaceutical and told you it was one thing, but it actually turned out to be another. I've had that done to me. That I can wrap my head around. But coke and meth? And then she claims she went into a psychosis, yet somehow she was unable to consent, but she's still able to say what happened in what conversation, who said what to who, the exact timeline of events, what room you were in, then what room the other person was in, who said what to whom, then what they asked her, then how she responded, then who did this, then who did this, exactly move by move, tick by tick, every single thing that supposedly transpired. That doesn't add up with being drugged. It just doesn't. Add to that the fact that she's been outed as faking a pregnancy for gain. Add to all of that this alleged stint she did in some sort of rehab facility that has pretty much been proven a sham, as she either walked out or was kicked out or either wasn't there. There's so many conflicting stories about that once again, it's really hard to get to the truth of the matter. Now, add to all of that the text messages where she says, oh, I'm in bed with a wrestler, fuck Enxo Amore. And then she corrected it to make sure it was clear that she was bragging that she fucked Enxo Amore. So, after all of this, she claims that she is so heartbroken, so traumatized, so devastated that she just had to share it on the most active social media platform in the country. If you're traumatized and you're humiliated, I understand that people deal with things differently. But if you want justice and if you want to handle something privately, you do not announce it to the world. Everything about that just screams, I want attention. Look at me. Look at me. And before I could even fully make the joke that she was out for attention, what was she doing? Utilizing her newfound notoriety to sell nudes on Snapchat. Go ahead and stamp this one. Thought, not impressed. I find the whole thing to be a little bit repulsive, and I find it to be very demeaning to those who have been truly victimized and forced to stay silent, because everything about her claim just seems very suspicious and very sketchy. It really does. Now, if it turns out that I'm wrong and she somehow, through all of this inconsistency, all of this dishonesty, all of this changing her story, if somehow someone somewhere can find a single shred of consistency, a single followable shred of truth, if somehow that happens and somehow there's proof, then of course I'll eat my words. But my guts never led me wrong about people, and I don't think I'm wrong about this girl. Nothing about her screams legit. Sorry. What else is new? Ronda Rousey. Ugh. Apparently, Natty Neidhart says that she thinks that Ronda Rousey will do great in WWE. And I know a lot of you were excited to see Ronda Rousey at the Royal Rumble. So I give you these questions. First of all, wouldn't her drawing power be extremely tainted at this point? Because the only thing she's really proven the last few appearances she made for UFC was that she could take an ass whooping, and she really didn't take that very well. And to me, this just cheapens the women's division, because this reads like, well, she damn sure wasn't good enough for UFC because everyone with real talent beat the absolute crap out of her. So now she has to step down to WWE. To me, that just casts an ugly light on this women's division that WWE is supposedly busting their ass to elevate. So what you're saying is Ronda Rousey sucks at the real fighting, so she'll just step down to the fake fighting. At least that's how I see it. What do you think? Talk to me. As always, like, subscribe, share. Talk about me on social media. I'm rad. All of my social media links are in the description box below, so definitely follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. Is there a story you want me to cover? Tweet it to me at Miss Jenna Lee. And yeah, talk to me in the comments section. What do you think about the Corey Graves Booker T thing? What do you think about Enxo and MORE? How do you feel about Jason Jordan's injury? And what are your thoughts on Ronda Rousey signing a full-time contract with WWE? Talk to me. And until next time, y'all, stay beautiful. Bye.